Good afternoon. Welcome. Risk On episode 58. Brought to you by FOMO, as always. Best multi-chain trading experience in the game. Go download it today. Promo code Risk On. And also we have FOMO co-founder Say here with us today. Welcome, man. It's great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. We'd love to get you on more. Big day for you guys today. We'll get to that in a few
Indeed.
minutes, but I think we're gonna wait for you guys to put out your official launch, and we'll watch that here. But Sat, Swizzle, how are you guys?
Amazing. Early day for me as usual. Ready to
5 p.m.
go. Yeah, primed and ready. Some say primed and ready. But no, I've been playing around with the FOMO web app as well, and yeah, I think people will be refreshed using it compared to the other trading terminals. So I think people got a lot to look forward to these days, especially when a lot of things are just like a lot of the products in crypto right now are like feel the same, and I feel like this doesn't. So
yeah, it's good to see something new. Building in the bear, always a good thing to do. I'm a little conflicted though, guys, because I think I know Wood is in this chat. I think Sats is in this chat as well. I'm all pumped up for the FOMO web app. I've been playing around. I'm like, this is cool. But I played around in the trenches for the first time in a couple of months, got destroyed the last 2 days. And the worst part of it was I was told by a fellow peer in our group chat, they said, Swizzle, I'm really concerned for you if you're trading right now. It's like taking candy from a baby. And I was like, I want to be offended by that, but it's true because I have not been a terminal trader.
Swizzle, calling Plato your peer when she is leagues ahead of you is hilarious to me.
Well, formerly peers. Is that fair? I don't know.
Yeah, she still took your money, so relationship severed.
I'm not cut out for the the pre-bond terminal trading world. It's clearly been established, but it feels like maybe the FOMO web app is a nice intermediary for that, where maybe an UNC can figure his way around. So we'll see. But that was a tough blow to hear that. It was a tough blow to hear that I am told that like a baby having my candy stolen.
Say, you guys have a big video announcement coming for the web app. Should be going live in a minute. We'll watch it here. Do you want to give everybody a quick lowdown about what we're watching and what you're so excited about for the web app coming out?
Yeah, so the video is live now, so we can tune in a sec. But yeah, this is a cool video. We've kind of done a whole week of, I would say, different forms of marketing, just trying to get people sneak glimpses, doing some streams, doing some, short form content. And this video, I think, is something that will hopefully kind of encapsulate what the FOMO brand is about. It's very high production. Every single person is a live actor. The team worked incredibly hard and hands-on with the studio to produce it. And it's just going to be something that, we put a lot of love into, and it's going to be something that ushers in the FOMO web app, which we're really excited about.
Henry, I think, has got that ready to go as well. Sharp.
Amazing.
Henry,
Henry, let's fire it up.
Here we go.
This is Houston. T-minus 1 minute until full data blackout. All eyes are on you.
Breaking news. There is an astronaut conducting an emergency repair on a global communication satellite that could go dark at any moment. We have a second angle on this.
Is that guy on FOMO?
Oh yeah, just like me for a crazy trader.
Yeah, let's get back to it, everybody.
Breaking news. There is an astronaut.
Opportunity cost is simply this. Every position you take is a position you choose over something else.
This just in. According to the astronaut's FOMO account, highest in the room, the satellite has been restored. For now, the crisis appears to be over.
Satellite's up and running. Position's looking good too.
Man. Yeah, man, Jesus, holy.
Round of
That is,
applause.
yeah,
You
honestly.
weren't lying when you said high production.
Yeah, for real, honestly.
That was,
You
How
guys
that was
many-
awesome.
How many Houston tickers do we get in the next hour?
Oh,
That's
man.
the question.
All right.
Hopefully none, but you know what?
Hopefully
Yeah.
not. There's no doubt. I saw Frank was up there at the top. Frank got a nice shout out.
Frank got a nice
Remus
shout
as
out.
well. Frank
Yeah.
and Remus, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations. It's fucking huge to have this out now. I'm sure you guys have been working on this for a long time. I first got access to the app, I don't know, 6-8 weeks ago, I feel like. So it's a huge accomplishment. I guess I've played around with it. I think it's great. I think it's a really elevated way of using FOMO, and allows you, a lot of crypto native people don't just trade on their phones. A lot of them are using their desktops, especially with the rise of terminals. So I guess, what are you guys most excited about being able to bring to life in the web app that you couldn't do on mobile?
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, I think most of the power users, they're predominantly desktop first, right? Whether it's a trading terminal or perps or whatever it is, it's something that I think most power users typically prefer. So we wanted to meet the user where they were. We've only started working on this about 8 weeks ago, so you probably got access maybe a week or two into the development of it.
Yeah.
And the team worked really, really hard to ship it quickly. It's something we wanted to get live into the world. It's something that I think will just give us a lot of opportunity to do different things. Obviously, we're interested in other asset classes over time, but even in the core social product, as I'll show you guys in a second, there's just a lot of room to add more details, to have more fun on the social side and just create this experience that's a little bit more dialed in, both on the trading and social side. So yeah, we'd love to let the product do the talking and kind of walk you guys through what that looks like.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
let's do it. Have you got the screen share up and running? Let's fire
Cool,
it
let's-
up and show us everything.
Cool. So yeah, this is a brand new landing page we came out with. It's kind of emulating the theme of the launch video. This is actually a clip from that video. You see FOMO in the background, and yeah, would just say it's a new reskin. I mean, landing pages are never exciting, but I think that this one is pretty cool. Not biased, of course.
No bias. No bias at all.
I gotta
No
say though, your
bias.
guys' branding is
Spot on.
is really fucking good. Yeah, it's really
Yep.
good. Like, it's so clean. Not to glaze, guys. Not to glaze. Like,
Cool. So let me get this going. Okay. And then, yeah, essentially, like I think the marquee features of this app itself is it's not destined to be a trading terminal, right? Like we don't want to make this just another app where you're kind of just trading low cap coins all the time. It's high frequency, and all you can do is trade on a single chain. So we created the same experience that we have on our mobile app into this desktop version here. So, at a glance, there's nothing super complicated. You have a lot of the same things you might kind of expect to see. So you have your different tabs, whether it's crypto, your trending, your most held, graduated bonding. Obviously, most held is the one here that is, I would say, most unique to FOMO. These are just holdings on FOMO. And if you click on one of these tokens, I actually think this is probably one of the coolest things that we can expect to see.
Oh, cool.
You can kind of see all of these face piles. These are all people who are putting out theses on their positions over time. And you can just go and, scroll through what are these people saying. Some of them are, a little bit more positive than others, but you have the ability to actually, toggle for just friends. So maybe I only care about the people I follow. So that's a toggle. Maybe I only care about, hey, I need it to be 10K or more. And then you can kind of filter this view so you can see how people's thoughts develop over time. And I think it's just something that's very unique. I think this bubble sort of icon style has been done on a lot of terminals, but the difference here really is that these are theses that people are putting out. They're not tracked wallets. They're not KOL accounts that people are aware of. These are real people that are linking their Twitter, signing off on their names, and giving you the full access to whatever their thoughts and positions are. So that's the thing that we're really most excited about as a social here. Obviously, you kind of have, the same elements you might have on the web, but just in a slightly different form. So you can see all the trades that go on. You can filter this by, let's say I only want to see trades above 5K, and so on and so forth. And thesis, same thing. You can kind of see, okay, what are the thought developments of people? What are their positions? And it gives you context on, here, this person is posting this thought. Are they up on the position? Are they down? Are they, bag working? Are they doom posting? Like, what is actually going on here? It's a really good place to see all of this in one place. And obviously, holder section is, just as is, as it is on the mobile. And then you have this cool new feature which doesn't exist yet on mobile, which is your alerts. So typically, you just have you just have the global feed, right? Where you can see all the activity people are doing globally. You can see a little shout out here, Risk On Podcast is live. And then here is your custom view. So you can decide, okay, I want to only have of the people I follow, I think, I don't want to see Paul's trades. I don't want to see Warren's trades. Like you can kind of just go ahead and go mark these individually one by one. And then that'll just show up here. You have size filters. You can determine I only care about people who have, 10K or more. I want to read their theses and their trades and so on and so forth. So it's just a really, custom build that you can do here. That's you leveraging FOMO social graph. It's very different than what you might see on a trading terminal because of those features. And I'm kind of going on and on. So I'll stop there to see if there's anything that's worth double tapping on.
No, it's good. The first question I have just quickly is like, we can keep going through different examples, but like you guys obviously still have the mobile app as a core feature. Like as you were building this out, what was the thought process on like, what would you, if you're a power FOMO user, what would you recommend saying the mobile app is better for this, the web app is better for this? Like how would you, having gone through this whole build, like how do you think about what the web app is kind of uniquely positioned to help people do?
Yeah, I think that mobile is our bet on this becoming something much bigger than crypto, right? It's going to be the thing that hundreds of millions, if not billions, of people use, especially as we end up branching out to other asset classes, other products, etc. So I think that that'll kind of be what it's been today, right? A very simple place, easy to use, easy to understand. I think this on the website will be something that is as complicated as you want it to be, right? So you want to have, let's say, multiple panels, right? Like maybe this isn't enough for you, and I want to see, I want to have this view of all of these different things at the same time. Like I want to see trending tokens, I want to see graduated, I want to see bonding, and I want to have my alerts. You can pull up this screen and just have this like full experience where it's as detailed as you want it to be. And I think this is where most people will kind of live as power traders, right? People who are monitoring their positions will mostly be on web. People who are actively deciding how do I allocate and actually allocating into these positions will do it on the desktop version. And it's cross chain. So, ETH mainnet is obviously something that a lot of people are asking for, and we want to deliver that as soon as possible. So that'll be included here along with the other chains that we support today.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people going crazy for ETH, especially around
ETH mainnet coming soon. Is that Risk On news? Is that has that been shared anywhere yet?
It hasn't been shared, at least very publicly. It's been in some comments and some DMs and stuff. But yes, ETH mainnet is something that we're excited to ship very soon.
Me and Swizzle can buy the top of Asteroid again. But on FOMO with a thesis. So we can buy on FOMO with a thesis, so it makes it even better.
Oh man, incredible. Were there any like features that you were really able to enhance from the mobile app and really improve in the web portion of
so
this?
I think there's a few things. One is like if you notice the prices here, you can see they're probably switching, 10 times faster than what you might see on mobile.
Yeah.
Right. They're kind of flicking up to 5-10 times a second. And one of the things that, we had to challenge ourselves on was we need to have high throughput. So we ended up going with a much more performant infrastructure. We ended up switching almost everything over to WebSockets, which we should have done, a much longer time ago, but just given how busy it was in the market and a lot of the stuff that we needed to build, it just wasn't a priority. So I would say this was a forcing function on just making everything a lot faster. That's one thing that we've been able to do. And then the other thing is, we've just created, I would say, more surface area for additional features, right? Like this isn't something that exists on mobile here. we have your top trades, we'll have your top theses rotating so you can see those, and just a lot more context on what's going on, just at a glimpse. And I think that this will be something where, we'll probably take 2 to 4 weeks of polish. We'll probably be taking a lot of feedback in the early days. Some of the early testers have done that tremendously well for us, and we'll continue to just iterate and build the perfect product for all the users who are web first.
Amazing. I love you bringing up Swizzle's profile.
Yeah, this is
Showing his
not
down bad
dramatic at
coppery-
all to bring
his-
up my
his-
profile.
his
It's
down
just
bad
getting
coppery into
decimated.
He's scared to open his FOMO app sometimes. When you say like, "Oh, have you checked
I
your
haven't
position?" He's
opened.
like,
This
"Oh,
is
I
the
haven't."
first time I've seen it in 2 months
Yeah.
because I've been too scared to open it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I noticed how fast everything was, relatively speaking. And I was enjoying clicking into everybody's profile pictures and seeing all the theses, because like usually it just because on the app it just filters by like my friends basically, or like the top traders or whatever. So being able to dive in and see random profile pictures theses has been really, really fun actually.
I can
I highly
imagine-
recommend reading it.
I can imagine how this is looking at this for you, Wood, because you don't use like Terminal or Axiom
Yeah.
or anything. So this is like, you're like, whoa, first interface. This is amazing. I can't fucking believe it. This feels better than Bird Eye. But no, this is I feel like the target audience for this is kind of where I feel like crypto's going, like, and everyone wants it to go in the end, like away from like spamming new pairs and more into like the established coins, and I feel like this promotes that heavily. So I feel like this is coming in a good time for the market. Like this is sort of what people are looking to do instead of sit on trending new pairs page. Like you can see theses going on and actual things what people want to see. So yeah, I think this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah. One question I had for you, I guess, is do you anticipate seeing a shift of the user base from mobile onto the web app, or do you envision onboarding new users onto the web app who might be using other terminals today?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different angles there. There's people who only trade on web. So some of the power traders of other trading apps, they might have wanted to use FOMO, but it's just not something that met them, at least in their preferred form factor. So being able to launch web app allows us to get more of those users. I think that it also just creates another avenue for people who are power users today to use it on their preferred medium, which,
Yeah.
all of us spend most of our time on our computers. I think the phone is something that we look at when we need to. So it's just something that I think will be a lot more convenient. But I think the mobile app will still be the thing that drives us to escape velocity when it comes to
Yeah.
onboarding more people, normies, retail. The world is going mobile, and I think that that's generally going to be the thing that most people find the best to use. They don't have to think about too much. They don't have to customize things or create this, very specific experience to them. But anybody who wants to, and hopefully a lot of these mobile traders advance and graduate to become web traders over time, they'll have this platform, which we'll continue to iterate on over time.
Yeah. So do you anticipate spending, the majority of time continuing to work on the mobile app or this web app going forward, I think? Or like how do you envision your time split there?
Yeah, I mean, we have a small team, so everybody obviously has a lot on their plate, but we want to make sure we can keep parity on both. We want to
Sweet.
launch every product with hopefully both on web and mobile. And yeah, it'll just be a balance thing that we have to always be exercising.
No, man, I really like it. I feel like it's really clean. It fits your guys' branding. I know you mentioned at the start, like when you were first going through it, like I feel like this opens the door for a few more things in the future. And I know you mentioned like this is bigger than you said something really interesting. Like this is bigger than just crypto. You want to expand into the normie market and people, what people want to do there. What are your sort of ideas there? Like, are you talking about prediction markets? Are you talking about the FOMO version of like for stocks and shit as well?
Yeah, so I think we don't want to be super dogmatic about this. I think the way we think about it is if there's anything that you want to speculate on or trade, it should be available on FOMO. And we should figure out the easiest way to get you access to it. And we should find the best ways for you to access the most amount of markets in, the least amount of clicks. So I think that's our general philosophy is, if you're interested in oil or in a tokenized equity or some sort of RWA or foreign exchange pair, and let's say you want leverage, we should be able to deliver all those things. I think that one of the things all of the players in the financial space do today is they're trying to become the super app, which is have everything and not have a very specific direction of why you have these things. It's kind of just like, Kalshi's going to add perps, Hyperliquid is going to do prediction markets,
Yeah.
Coinbase is going to do all the above. And it feels like we're racing towards like who can provide everything. But I think we think about it from a very, nuanced view, which is we don't want to provide everything. We just want to provide the next thing. So we want to be ahead of the curve and we want to provide you the thing that you probably are going to be interested in a few months or a few weeks. And this doesn't mean, we cover 401ks and prediction markets and, yields and all these things in between just as a catch-all. We want to think about very, very specifically, where's the puck going and how do we skate to a little bit faster to make sure that all of our users can have it in the time that they need it. I will admit ETH mainnet was obviously a miss here, and that's something we continue to kick ourselves on. But that's a perfect example of something that we would have loved to support, as the trend was kind of heading that direction.
In fairness on the ETH mainnet thing, like there's been this kind of like shift back to ETH mainnet because it's almost like vintage and like because it's I'll just say bluntly, because it's bad, like because it's hard to use. People are like, oh yeah, it's going to be harder for people to scale in and out, and that it's almost like that's why people went back to it. So it's not like it's a new trend that emerged. I think that one would have been a little bit hard to predict, I suppose. But yeah, I actually was, I was looking over stuff before we had you on, and like, I wanted to ask you about. I thought the Kalshi and Poly market leaning into perps was interesting, and like as a founder yourself of, there's always this like scale of like, well, there's a vertical here that has a lot of attention, we could lean into it. Then there's what we do well, and then there's like different directions that would be a little more speculative, like we don't know if that's going to pick up or not. Like obviously you said small team, but you guys have had a history of shipping things pretty fast and you're detailed with what you do. Like how are you guys making those decisions on this is worth doing, this isn't worth doing? Because obviously like building out this web app was not a small decision, not a small task. It was, you guys had to be like head down for months to get this right. So like, as you guys think about the next thing, like when you see like a Kalshi or Poly market do that, and all of a sudden they're making themselves a purpose platform also, does that inspire you to say like, we want to replicate that, or we want to do something different? Like, how do you make those decisions right now?
Yeah, I think the general philosophy we like to work with is kind of ignore all the noise and think about first principles. Where does the market look like? Where is it going? And what are the highest leverage opportunities, right? Because there's a number of things that can be valuable and that's exciting to us. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of 10-100x's, but I think that the timing and the way you kind of prioritize these things is what's most important. You don't want to pivot away from your core product when it's still in a very fragile state. I think that PMF is a word that, people say all the time, product market fit. And you have to be so sure that you have product market fit in the current market and that you are one of the top leaders there and can solidify that before you move on to another product, or else you fragment the experience, right? What do you take care of first? How do you build a good experience on something completely new while maintaining and improving the thing that you are currently good at? And we've been very intentional about these decisions. I think the beauty of how we operate FOMO is it's a very flat hierarchy. So we don't really even formally have titles internally. All of us just are people who think about the product, work on the product, and all things supporting the product. So, we often are in this place where we can disagree and commit, and we often are able to come to the right decision in some sort of consensus where we think it's the most calculated bet to ship this new product or to enter this new vertical or to decide not to do those things. And I think that keeps us very balanced as opposed to top-down organizations that have, just one or two people who might not be very tuned into what's going on, making all the decisions.
Gotcha.
How many people is FOMO now?
Yeah, so we today in the office have about 17 people. I think that that's probably, right around the full extent of our team. We do have some people who work on a contracting basis for some of the part-time stuff that we handle, like community and moderation and things of that nature. But yeah, typically, we're a pretty small team. We'd like to remain small. And I think AI has made it such that that is a real possibility in today's day and age.
I was going to ask. It's interesting. I think a lot of the new companies right now like have the opportunity to run really, really slim, like just like you are, and leverage the most because once you scale to a bigger company, it's hard to adopt new systems like AI. Is that something you guys are getting like a lot of use out of? Do you find it's like more of a gimmick at the moment, or do you feel like this is like completely changed the game for you guys internally?
I think it's somewhere in between. I think, there are definitely companies on the spectrum that have, I would say, taken, a lot more of an AI centric approach. And, and one example of this is I won't name the company, but one of our friends that we were speaking to was like, hey, I went to go visit one of my portcos, and there was a support ticket that came in about this, issue with a payment. And while the support agent itself, which is controlled by AI, was responding to the customer, another agent went into the repo, identified the bug, made a fix, and pushed it directly to prod. And then by the time, the customer responded 30 seconds later, it was already fixed. So there's like levels of how you can integrate things. I think for us, because we work with, decentralized technology, and there's a lot of things that can go with routing and bridging and all the things in between, we can't be so aggressive in having it scale all the systems. But it's a meaningful part in how engineers write code and how we debug things, and even how we push things on the non-engineering side with growth campaigns and marketing efforts. So I think that we're pretty AI pilled. We might not be the extreme, but we're certainly close to, I would say, the upper quartile of that.
Yeah, I think a lot of crypto companies in the same position, especially like because what we've seen in the past few months, even like the vulnerabilities get exploited very, very fast. I think in Jeff's article, he was like AI is really, really useful, but it's just not up to scratch for crypto yet because of the vulnerabilities and things like that. It can be exploited so quickly. But yeah, it's been a crazy few months in crypto with a lot of these things blowing up. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the AI's... Sorry, go ahead.
No. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say the AI stuff is really interesting because, a lot of the people who are very AI pilled, I just love to pick their brains about like, hey, where does this go, right? Like, how does this change not just like the work we do in front of us, but how does this change how society operates, how financial systems work, how all these things kind of intersect with each other. And I think that that's an interesting place to think of because, we were having this discussion the other day of like, okay, well, what happens in a world where AI kind of dominates all of the classic verticals that exist today? Let's say it can get to the point where you can actually, build an entire company in a week, right? Or 3 days. And not just like vibe coding an application, but legitimately build it with very sound principles, with the best coding practices, with really good design, with really good user experience. And this is me kind of just like bull posting crypto, but I think where that ends up going is you have a lot of these like really young people who are incredibly smart and able to take a lot of shots. They don't really need venture funding because that life cycle is a little bit too long, and they don't really have the capital to scale. So I think that in a lot of ways, like the best ideas are ones that have been done before, and we see a lot of this stuff with some of the launch pads and some of the stuff that goes on with bootstrapping tokens and companies. But I do legitimately think in a world where you can ship a company in a day, you need to be able to find a pool of capital from people who actually believe in what you can do, and that probably is through raising through crypto, whether that is through a launch pad or your own ICO or a similar mechanism. It's just going to be the way where you can just take a lot of shots on goal. And I honestly do think that one of these companies that goes through, crypto first is going to become a multi-hundred billion trillion dollar company. And that'll kind of be the watershed moment of, okay, AI and crypto intersection is here.
Yeah, I think it's still a tough conversation. Just to play devil advocate here, it's a tough conversation. And when companies do blow up and the whole question around tokenized equity, I feel like that's still not a problem that's solved or addressed for. A lot of people have tried. I think Cled's a good example who've tried, but it's still like 10% is only represent, like say if Cled gets sold, only 10% goes to token holders, and then you have safes, it's only available to US citizens. It feels like there's a long way to go, but I do agree with you in like I'm heavily AI pilled as well, and I integrate in a lot of like my businesses outside of crypto and try and get the most out of it. But it does feel like the cost to build has gone down to pretty much zero. Infrastructure, like back end stuff, still isn't there when you're building that, and it leaves your code open to so many different possibilities to going wrong. But it's an interesting time. I still think everyone can build an app, but not everyone can distribute it as well. I think that's the hard part. What a lot of people don't think about, and branding as well. Like you can see with FOMO, this isn't something that gets created by AI. I think a lot of people go like, "Oh, Claude Design's out. All the designers are finished." But like, you look at something like this, and this just isn't possible right now in AI at all, in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, I think a lot of people still overestimate it a little bit as well.
No, I certainly agree. I think for where we are today, maybe, you know, all the things that I've kind of said are grandiose, but I think that the thing I've been pleasantly surprised by is, you know, think about 2 years ago what AI was, right? It couldn't even answer a simple math question properly and it would hallucinate. Now it can legitimately, if you know what you're doing, build entire products end to end in a very short period of time. I think that that accelerates quicker and quicker. And, you know, there's even a heuristic that every quarter AI gets, you know, 2 times better. So you can think about how that can compound over the course of many years. And yeah, who knows what this can look like over, let's say, a 3 to 5 year time horizon, let alone a decade.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people like to say it will kill all these jobs. I'm sure you guys have software engineers internally as well, but like I feel like it just accelerates them. You know, like these guys just
100%.
become 10 times more effective. These guys can push 10 times like faster. Like things like the FOMO web app and things like that. What like, you know, in 2 years' time, how long does that take to build for you guys internally? Like you guys could be shipping products every week. So no, exciting times. I don't want to get caught up on the AI stuff.
Yeah.
So one last fundamental question
Something-
for you.
Something I
Say.
wanted to say that I've always admired.
Go for it, Wood. You got it.
Oh no, you go ahead, Swizz.
All right, I was just gonna say like one last fundamental question on all this, I would say this is a bit of a hard question, but I don't think you'll view it that way. I think it's a fair question, just based on the reality where the market is right now. When you guys released, obviously, like you guys have future plans and you're gonna do more, but like the core of this product that created kind of an explosion that the social features built around has been very much based around meme coins and like your core user base, your core trader base, they're meme coin traders. That kind of segment of the industry is, I think it's fair to say, going through a bit of a rough patch in the sense of like volume has dried up a bit. There's a bit of, let's say, concerns about predatory behavior or like just the underlying mechanism. People say the term people use is that like the game has been solved a bit. How do you view all that? Do you think this is, okay, is it just bear market territory and this will come back? Or do you think there's some validity to that and you guys have thoughts about shifting product? Or like, how do you view the state of like meme coin trading, narrative, attention trading, and all that? Like, I'm just really curious to hear your perspective on it because like unquestionably there's some problems there. But it doesn't mean there's not solutions. And I just want to know how you guys are going about that.
Yeah, I think there's kind of two ways to answer this question. One is, you know, our role is we, like I mentioned earlier, need to be able to see where the puck is going and meet the users where they are. This kind of territory, as we started to build FOMO, felt like something that was very unexplored, specifically on the part of like, how do you get one balance to, you know, trade across many different chains very frictionlessly, you know, easy enough to the point where a normal person can do it. And then how do you
Right.
distribute that to people who are not in crypto today? And you know, that was the goal that we sought to solve. We're, you know, on our way to working on that problem. We've enhanced it with the social layer that helps incredibly with education, retention, and user experience. So I think that, you know, we view our role as like trying to understand where the demand is and building for that, whether it's, you know, for now, for 6 months, or for much later down the line. There's obviously like time order priority there. But the other way to look at this is, you know, we are obviously very bullish on, you know, attention assets and meme coins. I think that a good way that we like to look at this is there's probably at any given point less than, you know, 50,000 people trading these tokens today. I would argue that the demand for people who would partake in this market is probably, you know, many orders of magnitude greater than that, right? You can think about early days with Trump Coin and Melania and Moonshot and all the appetite that kind of flowed through it. They might have played this game once and decided it was not for them. But I think that there's still an incredible amount of people that would be interested in accessing all these things that exist. maybe that means that the games need to shift to become a little bit more transparent and fair, which we try to do with all these things of removing practical obscurity and including transparency and just trying to make it a little bit more friendly for the person who might not have, their advanced trading tools or their tracking bots or their wallet sleuthers or whatever it is. We want to create this experience where it's accessible to all. And yeah, I think that we're irrationally bullish on this market itself expanding, 100,000x over the course of the next few years. I know that in bear markets, it's often hard to kind of see that picture and to see how we get there. But I think that through every cycle, there has been this like low moment. There has been this, sliver of hope and path and what this can become over the course of the next few years. And it's almost always surpassed that expectation. I don't expect this to be any different. But there's a lot of details to be solved there. And I think that we are very interested in aligning with parties who can help solve that issue, try to expand the pie and get to the greater good. But I still do think this is such a small percent of what the potential market can look like.
You're talking about like when you talk about the overall percentage of markets, are you talking about like meme coins or just crypto in general? Like every
Both.
token. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's both. Yeah, I think meme coins is, and that's probably my contrarian take. I think a lot of the smartest people that I speak with think like, okay, the game is solved, and sure, this game might be solved, but I think that the token is still the best transfer, the best mechanism of value transfer ever created, and I just don't think there's going to be another one that is better than it. Like it's the reason that all these institutions are building their own chains with stablecoin payments and sending balances to one another, and trading is obviously like kind of part of that value transfer category. So I don't think there is a next evolution here, and it's just the form factor is the final form. It's just a matter of how do you iterate on the game in other ways that make it conducive for growth and for the opportunity of other people to come and play this game.
I agree with Say fully here, actually. I think that while the current form of it might be solved, you go and look at gambling statistics around the world, you look at Polymarket stats, whatever, DraftKings, all of it, lottery, they're at all-time highs. People are gambling more now than they ever have. And exactly like what Say just said, like there is no better place in the world to turn a little bit of money into a lot of money and be able to have edge at it than there is in crypto and in meme coins. And some of us are old enough to remember when we were crafting the meme coin Supercycle thesis a couple years back.
Yeah.
And the thesis has not changed. It's the same thing, and I still believe in that. This form of it with Pump Fund launching Pump Fund and Bonk Fund, sorry, Sats, launching 10 million tokens a day. Yeah, like that's not great, but it's not going anywhere either. And I think it's here to stay, and there's a lot of money to be made. As Pump, after they announced they just lit $310 million on fire yesterday, has proven there is a shit ton of money in this stuff. And like I'm living, I think a few of us here are living proof of the fact that like going from nothing to something very quickly is not possible in many other places. And as long as you can do that and tell those stories, FOMO and apps like FOMO have an incredible opportunity to capture users and revenue and market share. Is kind of where I'm at with it. But back to something I did want to talk about, Say, back to your app. Your guys' branding is beautiful. I've always admired it. And did you like how much, I guess, energy and time went into, because the app itself is like so easy to use, and I know you guys push this really quickly. Do you, when building this out, was that like your primary focus? Like how do we make this look good, and how do we make this easy to use?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think what a lot of people end up doing in this problem space is, let's look at the top 3 to 5 competitors, let's see how they do it, and then let's reconstruct something that's very similar.
Yeah.
We took an approach that was from the bottom up, where it's like, okay, if we had to rethink about what does a web app look like, what are the things we want, where do they go, and how do they kind of fit in with one another? I would say that design and product and branding, these are all things that we deeply care about because it's important to some extent for crypto users, but it's really important for the world, right? People love to use something that feels good, that looks good, that brings them joy, that they're excited to share. And I think that these are the small things that not a lot of people, really think are important enough to care about. I think that, there are some builders that do this quite well. Like, believe it or not, I think Telegram used to be one of these apps that I was like, man, like, why does this UI look like this? Why does it not look like anything else that I've ever used? And then I listened to an interview that Pavel did with, I think it was Lex Friedman, and he's like, yeah, like we obsess over the details. Like there's these things in the background that move that you don't even notice. There's ways that animations feed off of one another, different based off you're removing somebody or adding somebody or promoting somebody or doing all these things in chats. And I think that really struck like a deep inspiration between myself and Paul. We both listened to it. We were like, man, like that's the level of detail that even as multi-deca-billion-dollar company that this guy pays attention to, and that's something that we've done since day one and we'll continue to do. And obviously we're blessed to have a very incredible designer and a front-end team that can actually build these things alongside in a very efficient way. So there's a lot of work that does go on here, and we're always incredibly proud of everything that they ship.
That's an interest. Like, you guys listen to the Pavel pod. I really like him as well. And I was saying the other day, it was an interesting conversation on the messaging apps and how it feels like Telegram still just feels, maybe because we all use it as just like a native platform to speak to each other. It feels like the superior app. Like it feels like the superior app, not just because everyone's on it. Like I wish everyone used it, and it was my regular. Because it does feel just cleaner than the rest. I go back to WhatsApp. I know, European guy, WhatsApp. No one else uses that in the US, but still, it feels clunky. It feels odd. But no, I feel like you guys are definitely onto something here with especially with the theses and that as well. I feel like when you were scrolling through, even just on when you scroll through theses, I would love to see like comments under people's theses, because I think it creates a lot of conversations, some positive, some negative, because there's a lot of opinions in this space. There's a lot of people who agree with your take. When you sell a coin, there's a lot of people who get angry. I think some of you guys could tap into definitely like the comments, and yeah, I think because a lot of that goes on Twitter. A lot of that goes on Twitter, and maybe that new end user he's not tapped into CT, because I think the CT we are all aware of is a very, very niche place, like more niche place than we realize. And you actually speak to someone outside and they just have no idea what's going on, man. Like they have no idea, nor do I expect them to either, because it's sometimes a bit of a intimidating place.
Yeah, definitely. And you struck something that, I probably should have talked about earlier. There's a lot of social stuff to still be explored here, right?
Yeah.
It's like
For sure.
there's a very light layer. It's very easy to use, but there's so much more we can do. Comments, messages, figuring out ways to make this more of like a Twitter, Instagram style, where you have a notification center of people following you and liking your theses, and more discoverability. And these are things that we think about almost every day. It's just a matter of how do you roll it out in an intuitive way, something that feels very light and easy to use without kind of disrupting what exists today in its current form.
Yeah, I would say that as well. I would say that as well. Even when like I first used the FOMO app, it felt like the first iteration of social that worked and felt natural compared to what we had in the past. And like now you have a good opportunity to sort of build on that, but you don't want to throw too much down people's throats. You don't. But it's like I feel like you guys have a great opportunity to see some of that stuff that goes on Twitter, in Telegram groups, etc. Like
it's
I feel
such
like
a fine line, right? Like
it is, yeah.
Especially when you guys have something like you do, where you kind of caught lightning in a bottle, and it's like a really core, simple, very simple thing, and it works. And then there's so many ideas that are good of like, oh, we could add this, we could add that, whatever. But it's like, man, every time you think about adding one of those things, are you risking adding too much complexity to take away from the simple thing that you have? Like, it's such a hard balance.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd love to flip the question to you guys of like, you've used the app, you kind of see it. Hopefully you get to use it a lot more. But what is like one thing from each of you that is like a critique or something we can build that you think is very much missing today and would benefit your experience?
Yeah, I would say for me, if I'm speaking from like a business perspective and like what I think would benefit you guys the most, it's a tough mode to crack, but like I think you probably have plans for it already, but like a feed. Keep everyone in this app. Make it so you don't have to go to Twitter to check out other things. Like have all the theses load like on a feed where you can like and comment and interact with one another. It leads to more discovery of profiles, maybe some who aren't on the leaderboard who have interesting theses. Like, for example, Remus, like when he had a thesis on White Whale, it wasn't on the leaderboard at the time, but he had a crazy thesis on White Whale. But it involves creating your own algo and feeding that in, having a For You page, a following page. But I think that's a tremendous moat for you guys, because everyone here does the same thing. You know, we go on FOMO, you check the theses, and then you load up Twitter. You might search the token tag in Twitter, like a lot of people do that, and scroll through all the pages, and that's sort of what you guys have. Like when you search a token, you see all the theses, but it's like, yeah, it could lead to more discovery on for new tokens, new theses. But yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, for me, I think it'd be, and I'll start by saying I have no idea how you would do this, what the fix is, but like some type of like credibility, like factoring for like the social features that exist. They're great, but like, you know, we talk about transparency, and we talk about trying to make this a place where like you can kind of value the social interactions that come about. And I think there's a lot of gamesmanship that is understandable. Any new game or new feature you put out, people are going to figure out how to utilize that to their advantage. I think if there was some possible way to add some type of like credibility factoring in where there's a benefit or incentive for basically, you know, people who stand by their word, or people who are able to provide, even if regardless, just able to provide value to other users. I don't know how to pinpoint what that is, but I think there's something valuable there, and I think it's something that's probably doable in a way that could like enhance the social graph as a whole. I wish I had some type of answer for you, but like I would love to see something along those lines, and I think my gut says that other users would love that too.
Yeah. I think one thing that I think would be cool, and I think, you know, Trevor tried doing this with his company back in the day, but I thought something that I would love to see was an ability to kind of bundle in like other tools that everybody is kind of frequently using. So bubble maps or whatever it is, a version of a FOMO version of that, where you can quickly like pop open a token and you can quickly see things that a lot of high usage traders are going to be checking every time they go to buy a token, like top wallets or whatever it is. Maybe because, you know, not everybody who owns a token is on FOMO. So being able to see on things like that within the web app, maybe, given that it is on the web and terminals offer that, I think that would be a really cool thing to add in here.
Yeah, I feel like you guys have the opportunity here, and especially with like the initial user group you guys have and the core user base you have, like you create an environment where you don't really have to leave FOMO. Like all the interesting shit goes on FOMO. Like when you go on Twitter, you know, best case scenario, people are just reposting theses, what they saw on FOMO on Twitter. Like I feel like you guys have an opportunity to make it literally so I open the FOMO web app and I don't have to leave. All my source of information is here. All the information I could possibly need is here. I don't get anything else from Twitter because, you know, Twitter's as well hard to dig through the noise. And I feel like FOMO have an opportunity to cut through that noise and tap into what people actually care about. And you're building for a complete separate thing, what they simply can't offer. Because they're building for a whole different user base. They're not tailoring just this crypto space. So yeah, I feel like you guys are in a really good spot going forward, and I love where you guys are going.
No, much appreciated. I mean, I think I directionally agree with all the things that you guys mentioned. They're things that are on our mind today, and hopefully we can, you know, ship the best version of all of those things in a very timely fashion. And we'll love to get you guys' feedback as we continue to add new things.
For sure, we're here to do that. One thing that's not FOMO related that I do want to talk about, guys, is Sats and Swizzle. You guys have been top blasting Asteroid left and right. Where do your positions stand? Because it's been contentious. I basically told you guys you were going to buy the top, get up a little bit, get cocky, and then lose all your money. and that hasn't quite happened.
We're nearly
It's
there.
looking more and more likely that you bought the top.
Look,
how are we feeling?
this is the bottom. Surely this is the bottom. First of all, it's you know, I think
perilous. It's a little bit perilous. Yeah.
It played
By the way,
out
this
exactly
will be
how you
soon.
said.
We got the announcement earlier. This will be available to be seen in real time on FOMO once ETH mainnet is added
Soon.
Yeah,
very soon.
Me and Swizzle will be posting our theses going, guys, look, this is it. And then you'll see us knee sliding, celebrating when it's 15% up, like Wood said on the last show, and then in complete despair when we're down 30% here. But I'm still hanging on, man.
I can't lie that like there is a distinct possibility that the only reason I still hold is because of Wood's shit talking. And I am feeling pretty dug into the ground here. And I'm fitting my technical analysis to my bias. So things are looking good. We call it a bullish consolidation.
Yeah. Did you guys see Vitalik sold the other one as well yesterday? He got sent like 100K worth of the vamp, and he just fucking one-click sold it for USD, not even ETH.
He's been doing that for years. I feel like anytime anyone sends him something, he's like, I'm taking that money. That's mine.
Yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. Like, but I thought it was interesting. Yesterday he sold for USD, didn't sell for ETH. Like, doesn't want to hold ETH anymore. Fuck that. Give me the USD. I don't know what he even does with it anymore. Probably just off ramps and fucking buys a car or something, man. Jesus. What a time we're to be in. Get Vitalik on the FOMO app, man. See this guy clip in 100.
Do you have much time to trade at all? Or I assume you're so busy building this stuff, you kind of stay clear of like trading in and out of individual tokens?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, every now and then I'll find a coin that I want to support, and I think that we talked about this earlier, but I'm just a buy and never sell kind of guy. So, the coin goes to 10
not
mil.
Great for us, man, in this environment. I'm right there with you, and they're trying to retire us. They're trying to retire us. So
we will win one day, though. I'm sure of it. It eventually swings back, and the best winners are going to be the people who trade just like us. So. Yeah, I'm excited for that time.
It is true though. The people I was thinking about this heavily last night after Plato told Swizzle that trading with him was like taking candy from a baby. I was thinking to myself, like, the people, yes, like right now it is like taking candy from a baby, but everyone I know that made the most money last cycle did so by holding irrationally. Holding through
they don't understand. In all seriousness, they don't understand how this game works. It's it does have it plays its course both directions. Maybe I think our style, the buy and hold and bull poster bags, it's definitely in hibernation right now. But
definitely,
that's an elegant way to say it. But the reality is, like, if and when it does happen again, I'll just say it bluntly: these people are not going to. They're not going to benefit from that because it's so hardwired into their DNA that, like, to terminal trade, it's possible it never comes back and they'll just keep grinding out the wins in the slot machines here. But if it does come back, then we're coming out of retirement with a vengeance. In that case,
we will be there. The Asteroid trade will be a simply figment of my imagination. Simply didn't happen.
Be the start. The Asteroid trade could be the start.
Could be the start. Wood sideline to the table set.
Wood.
Guys, I don't.
We are about to start a list of wins over here. Actually,
guys, I generally 2 days ago I had to ask, like, what is the Asteroid thesis? I just don't get it.
Look, that's the first mistake
people just like people just like condescendingly were telling me, like, bro, like, it's Elon. It's I think Print told me that it is a once a year, if not more. Once a year, if not multi-year coin. And I was like, excuse me? How am I missing this? And you guys can't believe that.
I kind of agree, but, like, look, I'm a bag holder, I hold a lot of it, so it would be bad for me to come on here and go, no, I don't think it's good. But, like, it's the first coin I've bought in size in a long time. Like,
Sats, I don't think you shitting on Asteroid is going to negatively impact the price.
No, but like, but I'm not going to come in and go, yo, this coin fucking sucks, even though I hold a lot of it. So I hold an embarrassing amount of this coin now. I still buy now. It's fucking disgusting.
In any case, there will, if there is a once in a generation coin or once in a life coin, you'll be able to trade it on FOMO. You should trade it on FOMO, hold it publicly for everyone to see, talk your shit, gain your reputational edge. We're excited. We're excited to do it on web. So thanks for coming on, Say.
Yeah, thanks, Say. Appreciate you coming on, man. Yeah, appreciate you taking the time. I know it's a busy day for you guys. I heard Razmir's over at the office right now.
He is. He's occupying one of our rooms, so you might see him streaming here all day, and we'll pop in and out of there as well. Yeah.
Is that why you're not at the office? It looks like you're somewhere else. You're like, Razmir's here. I'm getting out of here.
I'm getting out.
No, this is one of our office rooms. It's actually here. So it's you can see everybody out there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we've got a little
you were in bed, man.
room.
You looked comfortable. I thought that was the sheets behind you.
No, this is our office. This is our comfortable room, the shoes off room.
Okay, cool.
I love that you have a shoes off room. That's incredible. Sweet guys. Anything else we want to touch on?
Nah.
Any closing words?
Yeah, I mean, as always, it's a pleasure. I love listening to you guys shoot the shit all the time, and this is the second time on, so it's great to be involved, and I feel the energy when I'm here, so it's awesome, and I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, we appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Awesome. Till next time, then.
Did I just die?
Yeah.
I think I just
Classic.
died. I was gonna say, we'll have to no, Say dead.
Everyone's dead. It's gone.
Everyone's dead. All right, Say's gone. All right, sweet. Well, thank you, Say, for joining. He's not here, but thank him posthumously. Man. Anything else you want to talk about?
Good stuff, right? That was good stuff.
Yeah, it was a great episode. It was great to hear more and hear him talk candidly about everything. Answer some good questions.
Man, I feel like they're going to do really well. They're going to do really well this year. I feel like this is a big year for them, and like this is a really good.
I liked your idea. I liked your idea about like integrating the whole social feed and everything in there.
I feel like that's their mode, man.
In a way, it could be good for the world too, because it's like, let's take all these meme coin degenerates and let's shove them into this place and keep them away from everyone else, and just lock them in there, and the business can explode there, and we can rid all of us of society IRL. It's
I feel like that could happen as well, and then you're gonna have one token blow up like from FOMO and from the people in there, and then it will attract loads more people to come in and be like, oh, what is going on inside this space? What I don't have access to in Twitter, and then like you're gonna have people reposting the clips from or the theses from FOMO onto Twitter. Like I feel like it's a great mode to one, attract users, and two, like make it the only space where this stuff is going on. But yeah, I know he has big ideas. I see a lot of things. I saw his Facebook post the other day, so I know social layer is what Say's focused on the most.
He's shooting high.
He's shooting big, man. He's shooting big. Some people call him Say Zuckerberg. I've heard.
Sats, I love that you're just autistically using a Rubik's Cube on stream now.
Man, I've got two.
Like
this guy, I wanted to make so many comments. This guy is drinking Capri Suns and fucking around with the Rubik's Cube.
I've got all my shit going on.
Is that your
what
vaping?
Is happening over there?
No. This is bro. Like spins around your hand like this. Oh my god, it's fucking addicting. I'm telling you. You guys don't know.
No, I'm 38 years old. I'll be doing
this shit when I'm 32.
I just raw dog life.
There you go. I don't. I'm a
raw
fucking Capri.
Raw dog Jupiter, raw dog bird eye, raw dog life. That's what we do as unks, man. That's what we
Speaking of unks, Swizzle never sold his unk airdrop. He just round tripped 160 grand.
Yeah.
So shout out Swizzle.
Yeah.
So if you want to make a lot of money in the future, my recommendation is bundle the supply, sell it, send it all to Swizzle.
Yeah,
hold for yourself, multi-wallet the rest of it yourself, and just sell on Swizzle, and Swizzle will bull post it for you and never sell, and you'll get rich.
At some point, does this pay off for me where it's like the reputational, like, oh, this guy never sells, we're going to send this token. And then
you sell?
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's the one time I sell, but like... Yeah. I feel like I've been building this legacy up for years, but it's not paying off, guys. They're not catching on that it's safe hands.
Taking candy from a baby.
Yeah,
I suppose
man.
so.
Plato's been robbing us for too many years, man. Fuck.
Dude, there was last thing was someone said, you think you can trail Plato or Razo into a coin and make money?
No
And
way. No way, man. Jesus, I think I'll do. But to be fair to Plato, she hits every runner, but it's like in the middle of that, you got to suffer through, like, buying every coin on the blockchain, like.
You gotta suffer paying for her parents' watches and all that
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
in
yeah.
between.
Flights to Pakistan. Adds up, man. Adds up fast. No, let's wrap this up, man. Before we get.
All right, guys, we'll get out of here. All right, we'll be back Friday. We'll be back.
Yeah.
12 p.m. Eastern. Go check out the FOMO web app today. Use promo code RISKON to download it, or you don't download it. You just go to the website. So just create your app, create your account there. Promo code RISKON. Check it out today, and we'll be back Friday.